Harry Potter Quidditch Champions was announced recently, essentially breaking the internet for anyone that's a fan of the wizarding world. After many of us were disappointed with there not being Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy, this was a huge shock. Surprisingly enough, Unbroken Studios has been working on this dedicated Quidditch game in the background for the last 3 years. It's actually quite impressive that with all the talk about Hogwarts Legacy not having Quidditch, this game never leaked. With the playtest right around the corner and having very little information on what the game actually is, I figured it would be a good time to talk about what I want from this standalone competitive multiplayer Quidditch game. While this video is mostly speculative, I want you guys to chime in the comments below telling me what you want from Quidditch Champions. First things first, the game has to be heavy in the Wizarding World lore. I want to see customization options flooding the game that is everything Harry Potter, Hogwarts, or just the Wizarding World. You name it, I want it in the game. This could be dedicated house robes, international or league Quidditch team apparel, different hats, brooms, wands, gloves, and anything else that can set my Quidditch champion apart from the rest. Not only that, but the character customization needs to be a bit better than Hogwarts Legacy, which honestly isn't that hard to beat. I know that the art style is a lot like Fortnite, which actually might play in the favor of customization because you can get a bit more wacky or cartoony with your customization options. You could add things like a lion's head that Looney used to wear in the Harry Potter books. With the less realistic art style, unlike Hogwarts Legacy, it might be easier to add different hairstyles, skin colors, facial features, or anything that can actually set your champion apart. With all of these customization options, I think it brings into question what the style and format of the game will be. I would personally enjoy a live service free-to-play game, and I think that would fit this style best. Now, just because I say free-to-play doesn't mean the game will actually be free. That's honestly just a buzzword or more of just a style. I think that this will even be more of a live service ongoing game that could potentially even turn into an esport, which would be amazing, but having the ongoing mentality means that constant updates and new customization could be added. These could be things like pre and post-match celebrations, new gear, new modes, or even new arenas or pitches, I think they're called in Quidditch. So with all this talk of being free to play, what do I think the price is actually going to be? I'm 50-50 on whether or not it's going to be a charged service or just be a free to play game. Either way, I'm pretty sure they're going to go the season pass route, but I don't think this is going to be a full price game, even though I wouldn't be surprised. I would like it to be free to play immediately when it launches, but I could also see them keeping the game in early access, just like Fortnite was for a while, where they charge you 20 to 40 bucks for early access or a founders edition before the official release of the game. After a year of that early access or founders edition, the game would be free to everyone. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but it seems like this style of game. As far as modes are concerned, the frequently asked questions page did say that you could play solo or co-op with friends. It also says that there's more in the game than just Quidditch, and for now, I'm gonna guess it's just broom races. I think this is going to be a very traditional multiplayer where there won't be much in terms of a solo campaign, but you can play as a solo queue against bots or against other players. I would love a solo campaign to help level up your character, which is a whole nother question I'm not going to get into about leveling up your character, or if it's all going to just be based off your gear, but we'll get into that in another video. With the modes though, I think you need at least a ranked and unranked mode in this game. The ranked mode would have skill-based matchmaking and a ranked system, and the public matches would just be friendly, getting put up against anyone in the server. If they did want to get fancy, I could see them doing a dynasty where you and your friends could make a team and compete in tournaments against other teams. This edition would be really awesome, but I think it might be a bit of a stretch for this style of game, but I hope they at least add a ranked play mode along with their pubs. As a huge fan of sports games, especially NBA 2K, the more modes you have, the further you divide your player base. If there are too many modes, especially at launch, there might not be enough people to fill those lobbies, where if you don't have enough modes, the game can get too repetitive and people will back out and leave because it's too boring. You truly need to find that sweet spot between not enough and too many modes. Part of this repetitiveness can be remedied by having a ton of different pitches or arenas to play in. You could have one for Hogwarts, each of the countries for their home pitch, and then the league teams like the Chudley Cannon, so that the backdrop and scenery never gets old. One of the biggest questions that popped into my head when I heard the announcement for Quidditch Champions was, how is this game actually going to work? When you look at the old Quidditch World Cup games, you essentially play as every position on the Quidditch pitch, which there's 7 players, 3 chasers, 2 beaters, a keeper, and a seeker. Now that's a bit of an oversimplification because there have been times where you can play as just Harry and you're only the seeker, But the way they are marketing this game makes it seem like you can pick your position, and that's very interesting. If you get to load in with you and 6 different friends all being able to pick a different position, that would mean this is 14 different players connecting to one match. I'm not truly sure they're going to have the server space or be able to do that, or even make it feel fun. I could see them having this be a 4-person party with 1 person controlling all the chasers, 1 person controlling all the beaters, 1 keeper, and 1 seeker, which would mean it's a 4v4 only having 8 players in the same server. In my opinion, this would make a bit more sense, but I wouldn't be shocked if they let you do both, like Rocket League, where you can have a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or even 4v4 mode. A lot of games have started doing this where they allow different party sizes, and the more players you have, the more chaotic it is. In Quidditch, this would be an absolute blast, being able to have a full 7v7 with all the Harry Potter and Hogwarts Legacy content creators all coming together playing members, fans, subs, whatever you want to call people in the audience. The only thing I'm truly worried about in this game is the potential for microtransactions. As long as the live service side of the game is strictly cosmetic, example Fortnite over the last 5 to 6 seasons, I'm perfectly fine with it. I start to have an issue with live service games when the microtransactions give you a gameplay advantage. If this is a free-to-play live service game, I have no problem buying cosmetics and supporting the team that makes the game because it's essentially supporting the devs. If the microtransactions are more than cosmetic though and get you into better tournaments or help you rank up, upgrade your character, etc., that's when I really start to have an issue. As long as everything can be unlocked through the game's progression and then they add on dedicated buying cosmetics that they tell you about it, there's no problem with it. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions has been in development for over 3 years, and the playtest is supposed to be April 21st and 22nd, and with the little information we have so far, my brain is running wild with speculation. I'm sure I'll be making more speculation videos on Harry Potter Quidditch Champions before the release date of this beautiful game, but until then, here are a couple of videos to help you pass the time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.